Hi, I'm Freak Boy. Welcome to Freak Boy Runs. Well, I gotta tell you, for this just being a training session, I'm awfully nervous today. It's my first attempt at a speed session of any kind since I raced over 2 months ago. Not over 2 months ago, but 6 or 7 weeks ago, I raced a 10K. And that kind of pushed me over the edge injury-wise and brought me to where I am today, not having run very much volume and virtually no speed since. So I'm hoping everything goes okay. I just have maybe about a quarter mile left of my warm-up, and then I start the tempo session, which is alternating between high zone 3 for my heart rate and low zone 3 for my heart rate, 1 kilometer at a time. So 1 kilometer high, 1 kilometer low, and repeat 6 times. This is what is labeled as Tempo 3 on my training plan. I've done it a few times before. I find it kind of difficult just because there's no breaks. You're not running as hard as you do during a threshold session or other types of intervals, but there's just no break. So, good morning. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'll put the camera away since it's only about 100 meters here before I start, and pick you up somewhere in the middle for an update. Cheers. I'm almost halfway done. It's going pretty well right now. I'm having to slow down a little bit to keep my heart rate where it needs to be. So each repeat has been just slightly slower than the previous. But that's okay, because the goal is to stay within the specified heart rate zones. And I've done that so far. So when I finish this low zone 3 rep here, I'll be half done, and I'll have 3 more total reps to go. And maybe I'll check in once I'm done. Leave the camera away until then. Okay, I'm basically done. I'm on the low zone 3, half of the final rep right now. I feel pretty good. I could have done a better job maintaining my heart rate. It drifted a bit high in the last half of the session. I'll give myself a pass for that. Gotta forgive myself, having not done any kind of session in several months. So it'll get better. Like I said, I feel really good. I did tape both hamstrings this morning. I didn't want to take any chances. We shall see how the recovery goes. Assuming that goes okay, I'll be doing 14 miles easy long run on Sunday. And that's the next time I will see you. Ciao for now. I'm out of my long run now. It's pretty early, and I was hoping I would get treated to this. That one's off in the distance. Hot air balloon up there. And then there's one. Let's see, we have to get past these shrubs here. They're just coming up. About to launch. So, yeah, just out on my 14-mile long run. Started just shortly after 6 a.m. so I got a good early start, which is important. Now it's the very end of June and it's getting very hot in Texas, so long runs have got to be done as early as possible for the next 2-3 months. Yeah, so that tempo session went well and didn't seem to really bother me too much. The left hammy did feel a little bit tender for a couple of days, including, oh look, he's launched now. That didn't take long. Including up till yesterday, and I ended up bailing on doing strides at the end of my kind of shortish easy run yesterday. I was planning to do 10 or 12 strides, and I started the first one and just decided to bail. So today I will possibly attempt doing this as a progressive run. We'll see how I feel as I go along. I don't want to push my heart rate up too high, so if my heart rate starts getting too high, then I won't bother with that. But if I can do progressive run without going out of zone 2, then that's what I'm going to do. Let's take another peek at that balloon, and we might be able to see both of them if I get to the right angle. Oh, he's just firing up his, I don't know what they call those things, heater, torch, the thing he uses to heat up the air. So he's going up. The other guy's got a bit of a lead on him. Morning. So yeah, I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. I'm just on mile 2 right now, so let's see how it goes. I'll let you guys know as I go along here. Cheerio. On mile 5 now. Things are going pretty good. My heart rate's going up a little bit faster than the pace it would need to keep this a progressive run. So I think part of that is I decided I should have my hydration pack with me today, so I loaded up my my vest with ice and water, and stupidly forgot it in the car when I started my run. So I'll pick it up and use it for the second half, because I'm doing this run in 2 7-mile loops. But I think that'll probably be too late for my heart rate, because my blood will already have thickened up from some level of dehydration. But that's okay. Doesn't need to be a progressive run. What else do I want to say about today's run? Not too much. here, other than I decided to wear my my Asics Gel Nimbus today on my feet because I felt like I wanted max cushioning for my first time running this many miles in several months. Yeah, for that threshold session, I wore my Saucony Speed 4s, and they felt pretty good. You know, I have historically been wearing retired racing shoes, Nike Vaporfly or Alpha Flies, for my speed sessions and for my long runs. And yeah, for that tempo session, my times, meaning my paces, were slower than, you know, kind of a comparable time I ran that same session last August. Same temperature, but the difference being I was 3 months into my 5-month training cycle. That time it was actually a 6-month training cycle. Yeah, and I was 3 months into it. So my fitness was a lot better since I was deeper into the cycle. So it wasn't really a great comparison, but nonetheless, I like to look and compare anyways and just see what the differences are in the session and if there is anything that I can glean about things I could do differently. And in this case, I really don't think there was. I had to expect to be slower, having not done any speed work for so long, and such little volume overall. So yeah, definitely cutting myself some slack there, being kind to myself, as my coaches would say. So anyways, my arm's getting sore here, so I'll put the camera away and give myself a little more of a break and pick you guys back up a little further down the line. Cheers. I kept it progressive for the first 10 miles, but then my heart rate was getting up to zone 3, so I'm not going to be able to finish the last 4 in a progressive manner. It's more important that I keep my heart rate in check and don't overdo it, especially since I'm really just starting to get back into it. The last thing I want to do is overdo it right away and put myself back into an injured state. So yeah, it's going pretty well. I don't feel too bad. I think not being able to manage the paces as well is just a sign of how long it's been since I've really done this. Normally I probably would have started out a lot slower and kept it slower at the beginning, and I sped up kind of fast the first few miles. That was my undoing, I'm pretty sure, from the progressive run standpoint. So okay, I'll check in with you guys and wrap it up when I'm done my long run. All done. I didn't feel too bad. I wish I hadn't forgotten my hydration vest for the first half. That might have made a difference as well. I prefer to stay hydrated when it's this hot. But at least I had it for the second half. I don't know if you can hear it, but the cicadas are chattering. That's one of the things that gets me through the summers here. Some people hate them, but I love them, and I love the way they sound, and I just feel relaxed when I hear that chatter. I think it's really beautiful. Yeah, so it went okay. I would venture to say it went well, considering that's by far the longest I've run in a couple of months. 14 miles. And coming off of, you know, that 10-mile tempo session on Thursday, yeah, I'm pleased. I'm pleased that I recovered from that, and I felt good enough to do what I did today, even though I had to bail on the progressive run part of it. That's not really in the training plan. It's just something I like to do. So at the end of the day, it's not really very important. So then now I'm going into a deload week. So just 1 week of training and then into a deload week. Man, if it could only always be like that. No, I think it'll be good. It'll help me ease into this training plan by taking a little break, and then really starting in earnest next week. And even then, you know, that's going to be the first week of base block 2, and the base blocks, well, they're not easy. They're easier than the build blocks, which come afterwards. So yeah, I feel pretty good about my condition right now. I'm just gonna keep doing my rehab exercises, do all the foam rolling, use the Theragun, do all the stuff, make sure I keep up with my strength and conditioning, and really work at it. I really don't want to have this happen again anytime soon. Ever would be preferable, but that might not be realistic. Let's see if we can go another couple years without another injury. Morning. So that is a really nice young guy that I see out here on the trails all the time, and also in quite a few races. I think he's more of a 5K, 10K type of guy. He does a 5K in like, I don't know, like 18 minutes or something like that, maybe even faster. So yeah, he's pretty quick. He often comes in, at least the races I've been in, he'll come in, you know, third overall or something like that. So yeah, it's nice to see him out running. Funny thing is that he's super fast and super young, but he's not, I don't think he does marathon training, but he runs marathons from time to time. He ran the Dallas Marathon last year, and I ended up passing him, and I surprised myself when it happened. I was like, am I just going too fast here? What's going on here? But I was doing the pace that I had planned, so I kept going, and I just waved at him and said hello and kept on going. And I looked it up afterwards, and he had run, I think, a 3:27 or something like that, and that was the one I ran 3:20. So yeah, I'm sure if he trained for a marathon, he'd be way faster than me. But here he is. He just focuses on the shorter distances and then does a marathon without having done a training plan and still runs sub 3:30. Not fair. Anyways, yeah. So I think that's probably it for this week. I don't have much more for you. I'll wrap it up here. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Share with your friends. Comment, do all the things. And until next time, on Freak Boy Runs, Freak Boy out.